In the year 1811, a massive comet streaked across the American sky. To the settlers, it was a curiosity. To the tribes, it was a sign. But to one man, it was a signal that the world was about to burn. He didn't have a crown. He didn't have a country. All he had was a voice that could move mountains and a vision so dangerous, the United States government spent millions just to silence it. They call him a rebel. They call him a casualty of war. But they never tell you the real story. They never tell you about the boy who watched his father die in the grass and swore that his people would never beg for a place to exist. This is the story of a man who fought for an identity when the world tried to erase it. This is the story of Tecumseh. And by the end of this, you'll realize that his fight is actually yours. Tecumseh was born into a world on fire. Born a Shawnee in the Ohio Valley, his childhood wasn't filled with games. It was filled with smoke. By the time he was 6, his father was killed by white settlers. His dying words weren't a blessing. They were a command. Never make peace with the men who take your land. Imagine being a teenager and seeing your home burned to the ground, not once, but 3 times. Tecumseh felt the sting of rejection from a world that saw his people as obstacles rather than humans. He saw his elder brother, the man he looked up to, fall in battle. He was a refugee in his own backyard. But pain does one of 2 things. It breaks you, or it forges you into a blade. Tecumseh chose the blade. Most people, when defeated, retreat. Tecumseh did the opposite. He looked at the scattered, warring tribes of the North American continent and saw something no one else did. He saw unity. He realized that the reason they were losing was because they were fighting as small sparks. He wanted to build a wildfire. He began a journey of thousands of miles from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico. He stood before thousands of warriors who hated each other and said, "The sun is my father, and the earth is my mother. On her bosom, I will repose." He wasn't just fighting for dirt. He was fighting for the right to say, "I am here. We are one. We have a name." While his brother, the prophet, gave the people spiritual hope, Tecumseh gave them a political fist. He stared down William Henry Harrison, a future U.S. president, and told him to his face, "Your treaties are written in sand. My people's rights are written in blood." The odds were impossible. He was fighting the industrial might of a rising superpower with nothing but bows, muskets, and sheer willpower. In the War of 1812, he became a general, not because he loved war, but because he loved his people more than he feared death. He outmaneuvered armies twice his size. He became a legend that even his enemies whispered about with respect. They called him the Shooting Star, and for a brief moment, it looked like he might actually win. October 5, 1813. The air in Ontario was thick with the scent of wet leaves and gunpowder. Tecumseh knew the end was coming. He took off his British general's uniform and put on his traditional Shawnee buckskins. He took his place in the front line. No hiding in the back, no escaping. He charged into the thickest part of the fight. He died as he lived running toward the struggle. His body was never found. The forest claimed its son, and in doing so, ensured that he would never truly be captured. Tecumseh lost the war, but did he lose the fight? Today, his name is spoken with more reverence than the men who defeated him. Schools, cities, and ships bear his name. Why? Because Tecumseh taught us that identity is worth the struggle. He proved that one man with a clear vision can unite an entire continent. He proved that greatness isn't measured by the land you keep, but by the dignity you refuse to surrender. Now, look at your own life. Maybe you feel like a refugee in your own career. Maybe you feel like the world is trying to tell you who you are, instead of letting you define yourself. Tecumseh's life is a masterclass in resilience. He shows us that even if the odds are stacked against you, even if the comet is a sign of your end, you stand tall. You speak your truth. You build your own identity. Because before they won, They had to survive the fire. And so do you. The comet of 1811 eventually faded from the sky. The forests of Ohio were paved over. But if you stand in the quiet parts of the wilderness today, you can still feel the vibration of his voice. Tecumseh didn't just fight for the Shawnee. He fought for the soul of anyone who has ever been told they don't belong. He was the shooting star that refused to burn out. And today, that light is passed to you. What will you do with it? If Tecumseh's story moved you, if you believe that identity is worth fighting for, then join us. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Here at Before They Won, we tell the stories of the giants who stood before us so you can find the strength to stand today. Leave a comment below. What is one thing you are fighting for right now? We read every single one. Stay strong. Stay legendary. We'll see you in the next story.